Okay, here we go. Welcome back to some more Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Hope you're all doing well, having a great day, that you had a great week, and have a great weekend. Have fun, hang out, relax, whatever floats your boat. So we are still here on the Normandy. Just received the Normandy from Anderson. He stepped down to give us the ship. Sha'ira was very pleased with the task we did for her. So, I was busy talking to Tali. Let's just...
Hey Shepard, do you need something?
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
I say it's so interesting, these things they say. Now, a little bit about me is like, I've never played Mass Effect 1, I only played the Legendary Edition. So I don't know if this was in the normal Mass Effect or if this is with the Legendary Edition, but Tali's face through the mask looks ridiculous. I'm sorry, I like it more where they actually just show the mask and not try and show the face. I don't know if this is pandering for the people that always want to see what the Quarians look like or something, but I personally, I like the mystery. I like that we really don't actually know what they look like. Instead of trying to give us hints or show us, that's just how I feel. So I really don't like how her face looks in this game at the moment.
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
Like, just to get an example, is like, we never see what the Volus look like, and no one wants to. But the Quarians, everyone wants to, because of Tali. And like I say, it annoys me. Like, most of the time you can just see like their eyes shining through or something, but most of the time it's like you can't see it. So I don't know, this just really annoys me.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials.
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
But if you're new to the channel and haven't yet, remember to subscribe, hit that like button, let me know that you like the videos, helps the algorithm, helps the channel. You can always enable notifications, let you know when I post, that bell button, and then there's the comments where you can just comment, leave me a message.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins, what they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
So you can just say that was a mistake.
How come the Council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
So, the Geth share brain power?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in a group, the smarter they are.
So there's some sort of group consciousness?
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input. Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious. But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
I don't get it.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm probably oversimplifying. The Geth are incredibly advanced and complex creations. All you need to know is that they get smarter when they gather in large numbers. As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
I don't see what's so bad about those questions.
The Geth were created to engage in mundane, repetitive, or dangerous manual labor. That's fine for machines, but it won't satisfy a sentient being for long. The Geth were showing signs of rudimentary self-awareness and independent thought. If the Geth were intelligent, then we were essentially using them as slaves. It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
So, I'm sorry, I'm on the Geth side here. It's like they were becoming sentient, and what was their response? The Quarians' response? Kill them. What would most people or things do when threatened with being killed? Retaliate. So, yeah. It was your fault.
You can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began. The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space, exile searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
Look at that one. Serves you right.
It's hard to feel sorry for you. Your ancestors tried to wipe out another species.
We made a mistake when we created the Geth in the first place. But we did not make a mistake when we went to war against them. If we had not acted, they would have wiped us out. They're a synthetic life form. They have no use for organics. None. Why do you think they cut themselves off from the rest of the galaxy? Why do you think they've killed every organic being who's ever tried to contact them?
They didn't kill Saren.
What does that tell you? The Geth are not innocent victims in all this. They're the enemy. They want to destroy us. Not just the Quarians. All organic life. That's why they've joined up with Saren. And that's why we have to stop him.
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when a gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
I can't believe they just send you off alone.
It's not like they just cast us out. Before we leave, we are given lessons in how to survive outside the flotilla, and given gifts to help us on our journey. We also receive implants to fight off sickness and disease. Generations of living in an isolated and highly controlled environment have left our immune systems weaker than most. By the time we leave the fleet, we are well equipped for the pilgrimage. This is a rite of passage for all Quarians. If it were dangerous, our numbers would suffer. Virtually every pilgrimage ends with a triumphant return and the ritual presentation of the gift to one of the fleet's captains.
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
Oh, we've
That
listened to
doesn't
this
happen
before.
often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when a gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
Okay, so that is still the same. It's not something extra. Okay.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
Okay, that is everything
should go.
finally.
See you later.
Okay, and once again, codex. So secondary. Whoa. Okay, pause and read. Here you go. sorry about that one. The controller makes it a little bit weird to scroll. Okay, that's everything for that. Migrant fleet. Okay. And that is everything in secondary. And nothing in primary. Cool. And then we can talk to Engineer Adams as well.
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian, Tally? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engine.
I'll talk to her. I'll get rid of her.
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
Okay, she is useful. But I love his response. Like I say, I like Adams. He's cool.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You got an eye for talent, Commander. But I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
I don't think we were able to talk with him before about this.
Fill me in on the IES stealth systems. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation. Too easy for sensors to pick them up, unless you find a way to capture those emissions. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself. No emissions to give away our location. Eventually the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
I really don't like the sound of that.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space. Most vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
Why doesn't it work with faster than light travel?
Cranking up to FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare. Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
That is pretty cool. Normandy is a cool ship.
I want to know more about the Normandy.
She's the best ship I've ever served on, probably the fastest vessel ever designed. And she's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, but we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
Where else have you served, Adams?
If you name a class of Alliance ship, I've probably served on it. Everything from dreadnoughts and carriers right down to frigates like the Normandy. My last assignment was on the Tokyo, only a cruiser, but she was a good ship. Couldn't hold a candle to the Normandy, though.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
And Codex again. Seems primary, actually. Cool.
Faster, larger warships are generally classified in one of 4 weights. Frigates are small, fast ships used for scouting and screening of larger vessels. Frigates often operate in wolf-pack flotillas. Cruisers are middleweight combatants, faster than dreadnoughts and more heavily armed than frigates. Cruisers are the standard patrol unit and often lead frigate flotillas. Dreadnoughts are kilometer-long capital ships mounting heavy, long-range firepower. They are only deployed for the most vital missions. Carriers are dreadnought-sized vessels that also carry large numbers of fighters. Smaller vessels are almost exclusively used in a support role to the warships during combat. Fighters are one-man craft used to perform close-range attacks on enemy ships. Interceptors are one-man craft optimized for destroying opposing fighters.
Cool, cool. And
Faster-than-light drives use element zero cores to reduce the mass of the ship, allowing higher rates of acceleration. This effectively raises the speed of light within the mass effect field, allowing high-speed travel with negligible relativistic time dilation effects. Starships still require conventional thrusters, chemical rockets, commercial fusion torch, economy ion engine, or military anti-proton drive, in addition to the FTL drive core. With only a core, a ship has no motive power. The amount of EZO and power required for a drive increases exponentially to the mass being moved and the degree it is being lightened. Very massive ships or very high speeds are prohibitively expensive. If the field collapses while the ship is moving at faster than light speed, the effects are catastrophic. The ship is snapped back to sublight velocity, the enormous excess energy shed in the form of lethal Cherenkov radiation.
see, I'm just like, someone had to read all this, someone had to write all this. It just blows my mind.
Thanks for bringing me on board. I knew working with the Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
See, there they skipped a conversation again.
Have you worked with a Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
You shouldn't complain.
For the most part, the rules are there for a reason.
Maybe. But sometimes it feels like the rules are only there to stop me from doing my work. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it. But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
See, sorry, that's why I didn't want to take Garrus with to when we faced Fist, because he is already like this.
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. CSEC's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
You'll get over it. Forget about it.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside CSEC. Either way, I plan to make the most of this. And without CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
If getting the job done means endangering innocent people, then no. We get the job done right, not fast. Got it?
I wasn't trying to. I understand, Commander.
I do like his armor and like the blue and even that like eye visor thing. No codex. Woohoo!
Nice ship you've got, Shepard. What can I do for you?
What's your story, Rex?
There's no story. Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
Just a short one. Don't be an ass.
You Krogan live for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
But Morton lived for thousands of years, or like for almost 1,000 years. That is a long lifespan.
I heard about that. You know, they almost did the same to us.
It's not the same.
I'm not going to argue with a Krogan. Of course it is.
It seems pretty much the same to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation? An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
Like I say, I really don't like the Renegade ones. There's very few that I actually do like. But like, so what?
I suppose it isn't all the same.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
I do like his look. I always wonder what actually caused those scars, those scratches on his face.
I was just making conversation. I wasn't trying to upset you.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard. As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected, every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
On the one hand, that is actually very impressive that the Solarians came up with something like this, that all the Krogans are infected, even the new ones that's born. It's horrible, but it's also very impressive that they made something like this.
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist? You ask a Krogan, would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
I like that. When is the last time you saw a Krogan scientist or doctor? Okay, so I think that's all of that.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
And we've got Codex. Secondary again. Okay. Genophage, there you can read about it. Okay, cool. I think that's all of it.
Commander?
Okay, so how are we doing is her version of like the mission one. So every time after a main mission, she's got something different to say about that.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Kinda wish you'd got there sooner, Commander. No offense, I appreciate the rescue. I just wish...
Stop dwelling.
You wish we'd been able to save the rest of your unit?
Yes, sir. If I had been more alert, we wouldn't have been cut down by an ambush.
Just like that, be more alert.
The Geth are perfect ambushers. They don't move, they don't make noise, they don't even breathe.
Sir, they have flashlight heads. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Do you have a few minutes to talk one-on-one?
I'm sorry, Commander. I need to get my duty squared away. I wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
Dismissed, Chief.
Sir.
Okay, then also I have, as you see there, you can go to them and equip their stuff, and so I've done that off screen and myself, and sold what I'm not using. Okay, so I think that is finally it. Let's go find Liara Tassoni. Okay, so as you see, as soon as you get near here, that's another codex entry.
The Citadel. Citadel space is an unofficial term referring to any region of space controlled by a species that acknowledges the authority of the Citadel Council. At first glance, it appears this territory encompasses most of the galaxy. In reality, however, less than 1% of the stars have been explored. Even Mass Effect FTL drive is slow relative to the volume of the galaxy. Empty space and systems without suitable drive discharge sites are barriers to exploration. Only the mass relays allow ships to jump hundreds of light years in an instant, the key to expanding across an otherwise impassable galaxy. Whenever a new relay is activated, the destination system is rapidly developed. From that hub, FTL drive is used to expand to nearby star clusters. The result is a number of densely developed clusters, thinly spread across the vast expanse of space, connected by the mass relay network.
So let's go. As you see there, you press circle to zoom out on the PS5. And you've got the normal, like this area. It's only the Citadel. And we've got like the star system, or I'm not really sure what you call it. But when there's more solar systems in the area. And there we've got the Milky Way galaxy. So we are going for, you see there, Liara's dig site. Now you can go through all these, and I will eventually as well. Most of them's only got planets that you can scan for resources, and most of these systems has got like one planet you can land on with missions and stuff. But you want this one. Okay, so see, this is the solar system as far as I know. Okay, so we've got... Now you can just pause and read that. I'm sorry, I'm not going to read this on every planet. Some of them's got a lot. And I'll just butcher the names and stuff. But as you see, you can do nothing here. The square exit just puts you back in the view of Shepard. So with the asteroids you can go around. They sometimes they've got something and you can scan it. And say travel. And you can survey it. Metal rich asteroid. Asteroid field have revealed several deposits of platinum. Nice. Okay, and this is one where you can land. Let's see if you read there at some stage it will say about Prothean ruins. Perhaps this explains the many Prothean ruins dotting the surface, most of which have been looted by mining corporations. So I'll go there right now, but that's how you know it's the correct one. If you remember, Anderson or Dina said like it's the one with the Prothean ruins. Now you can just pause and read this again. Once again, nothing to do on this. So it actually takes a lot quicker than what you think to scan like a solar system, especially in the first one. Nothing on this, you can read it again. And you can just see with this asteroids again. You can sometimes miss them. I don't think there's anything in this asteroid belt. And we can survey this planet as well, so you can pause and read that. Gas deposit surveyed. Scans of this gas giant have detected a large concentration of nitrogen. Okay, so there is supposed to be a... There we go. See, sometimes they can be easy to miss. Scans of the asteroid field in the Conosus system revealed some strange readings. Upon closer inspection, Navigator Presley discovered the region of the remains of an abandoned Solarian fighter. The only thing of interest on board was a League of One medallion. So if you exit now, and you see we've got codex entries and journal. So if you go to journal now, you can locate signs of battle, League medallion and Solarian ID tags. And valuable minerals as well. There's light metals, heavy metals, rare earths, gases. Codex. Okay, here you can read about the League of One. Have we read this one? Just pause and read if you haven't read it before. Okay, so this is about the light metals and light metals and stuff. Okay. Okay, and then we go land. Okay, so you add the squad mate and then the other one, and then accept. You can examine the squad as well. So it shows you. Okay. Charlie has better conversation than Rex or Garrus in this one. That's why I'm taking her and Ashley. I love these drop-off scenes. And yeah, now we're in the Mako.
Commander, I'm picking up some strange readings. Really strange, like off the damn charts. It looks like it's coming from an underground complex a few clicks away from the drop zone.
This thing is kind of strange to control with controller with the left analog stick. And right analog stick looks around. Now you can zoom in. L2 is... no, R2, sorry. L2 is zoom in, R2 is machine gun. So at the bottom you can see the thing, and R1 is missiles, X is little boost jump thingy, and L1 is boost forward. Interesting note, in the original, Mako kills give you half XP. Legendary edition, luckily not, so we can stay in the Mako and just blow everything up. And we do have a squad. I haven't done anything for her yet. So I've got me and Caden already going with electronics and decryption, so let's go with basic armor. Sorry, what did... okay, shield boost. No, that's just first aid. So I think she can only... no, she's an engineer, so I think she only gets light armor. And then... Korean machinist. Hacking is like AI hacking and stuff. Okay, cool. Now let's put some points into... there we go. And yeah, everything's still fine over there. We do have a map. That is as much as it zooms in. No, out, sorry. There's in. For the first part, we don't have to worry too much about drops. And you can see how I try to make her. Oh, and just to be clear, stay away from the lava. Lava bad. that looks friendly. Okay, we've got codex, and that ship of theirs looks very strange. And you can just pause and read again. Looks like a bug. And that's all there is to read about it. And just for interest sakes, read! Okay, but as you see there, where the Mako picture is, if you do get damaged, your shield and stuff shows there. One thing that's a little bit annoying about the Mako, its radar range is very far, so those things are nowhere near where I am at the moment yet. And especially with these things that you attack when you're in the Mako, there's almost always equipment dropped. So shield battery, anti-personnel rounds, and let's take oil. You can put it on if you want. And I don't think you can save while in the Mako. But like I said, just imagine like the first original, like I had to get out of your Mako, kill those things, and then get back in. Oh, the red triangles, by the way, is turrets. I can imagine this place if you couldn't stay in the Mako. Like, you could do it, but you'd get less XP. Level! Ouch! See, there's your shield. Blue shield, red is
This route's
light.
a no-go. They have height and cover.
Whee! And then also, if you saw there's like a repair thing, you use Medigel for it, or Omnigel, and you just press triangle, and then it kind of repairs the Mako. But like I said, it's not even through my shields yet. But see, look, that triangle one over there, it's way off the map. No, that was too early. Boom. Woo! That one got some air. I think the rest of them in the buildings. If you want to be really sneaky, you can try and get them in the buildings as well. Doesn't always work.
Moving out.
So like I say, if you've got a problem with like, if you've got too much Omnigel, then don't worry about it. You can just use it to override stuff if you've got enough. But okay, this is where I'm going to end the video. Sorry, it was a lot of talking and codex things. Hopefully it will be less now and more main story and action. But be well, have a great day, see you in the next video.